Well, good morning, everybody. It is great to be here. I want to thank Heather for hosting us, and I want to thank all the students for having us. It's really exciting to be at Mount Pleasant High School this morning. I want to thank your fantastic superintendent, Mark Holodick. Mark is a great superintendent, and he is so proud of this district. He is, every time we talk, he just sort of goes through the list of schools and all the great things that are going on, and Mount Pleasant High School always ranks very, very high on his list, even though he is a graduate of Concord himself. But it is...
Governor, for the record, my daughter is a freshman here now.
Okay.
So now Mount Pleasant.
All right, okay. Well, we won't tell the folks at Brandywine that they're left off of both. Yeah, but I want to thank you, Mark. We are thrilled to have David Coleman here. David is the president of the College Board, an organization all of you are touching in one way or the other, and we are just absolutely thrilled because his vision, which he will be talking about in a few minutes, matches up so closely with why we are here today. We also have, and he's really, I have state troopers who travel with me. He's really the guy who should have protection. Jeremiah Quinlan is he's the Dean of Admissions at Yale University. And we are, again, just absolutely delighted that Jeremiah Quinlan has taken the lead on the initiative that we are about to describe to you with all of the Ivy League schools as well as MIT and Stanford. All of them have joined together to voice support for the initiative that we are announcing today. We also have great partners right here in Delaware. Not only in serving prospective students, but also working with us to improve college and career readiness for every student. From the University of Delaware, Jose Aviles, who is the Director of Admissions, thank you. Aaron Hill, who's the Executive Director of Admissions at Delaware State. Cassandra Hinson from Wesley College, the Head Director of Admissions. From Wilmington University, Simone Marie George, who's the Director of Government Relations, and Peter Bailey, the Vice President of External Affairs. And from the Delaware College of Art and Design, Stuart Barron. So we appreciate all of the folks from our Delaware institutions who have joined us today. Thank you very, very much. We have Secretary Mark Murphy. He will be talking to you in a few minutes. He's our Secretary of Education, and he's really leading the various efforts underway in Delaware around college and career readiness. I also want to point out Albert Shields, who is sitting in the back. Albert works for Congressman Carney, and Congressman Carney has been extremely interested in this issue of college access and college readiness, college affordability, and the like. He's really taken the lead in Washington, D.C. I want to thank Albert for being here and thank Congressman Carney, as well as Senator Coons and Senator Carper for their great work. I want to mention two other people. One is Lindsay O'Mara from my office, who has just done a wonderful job pulling this together. And then one person who is not here. She had been in my office and recently left to go get her MBA at Stanford. Her name is Rebecca Tabor, and she also worked really, really hard. She's actually a graduate of Yale, and this initiative today really stems from a series of conversations that she began with Jeremiah Quinlan at Yale, as well as with David Coleman at the College Board, and we are fortunate to be building off of her great work. So those are the introductions and the thanks, and I want to thank all of you and really congratulate all the students who are here on doing all that you're doing at Mount. You are clearly on a path to be ready for college and career. We've got, for those of you who are not from here, we've got a couple of IB classes with us this morning, and we are just thrilled that you're here. As Heather said, putting all of our students on a path to being ready for college and career, that's really the driving force of everything that we do in our schools here in Delaware. Now, we're making good progress, and most high school students who drop out do so, they fall off track after the 9th grade. But the number of those students has been decreasing in recent years. That being said, we have work to do. By the end of this decade, more than 55% of jobs here in Delaware are going to require education and training beyond high school. So 55% of the jobs will require education and training beyond high school. Yet only 30% of our students persist from 9th grade onto their second year of post-secondary education. This is not a uniquely Delaware problem, but it is a Delaware. It's an issue here in Delaware as well, and this is driving so much of what we're doing, not just starting now, but starting with kids who are much younger. Now, we've got a plan to improve this figure. And that plan, there are many pieces of it, and it's driving so much of our work. It involves raising standards in the classroom around the Common Core. It means giving our teachers better opportunities to learn from each other. It's a commitment to quality early childhood programs. I mean, that's really where a lot of this begins, because those programs are really they're a proven critical factor in our kids' ability to succeed later in life. And our mission cannot end with making sure that you are ready for college and career. We've got to focus on the issue of access to higher education. That is an essential part of the equation. And that's what our partnership with the College Board is all about. We've got to ensure that students like you are not turned off to college because you don't know about the availability of financial assistance. You don't understand how to get through the whole process. We've got to make sure that our students don't underestimate your qualifications and your ability. Yet this is what's happening for too many young people across our country. We have too many young people who are talented, who can succeed, but they really haven't thought about where they fit in and how they can move forward. And as a result, we have too many young people who lose out on career opportunities, and we as a society lose out because of some of the contributions that these young people could make. So our partnership with the College Board is a significant step towards solving these challenges. And beginning this month, the College Board is sending specialized packets of college resources to many of Delaware's high school seniors. These packets include information about how to research colleges and the application process. Now, the initial inspiration for this effort came from research that was published earlier this year by a professor at Stanford, and I think she had a co-facilitator. Which university is he? Where's? At University of Virginia. So professors at Stanford and University of Virginia did some really interesting research. And it showed that students from low-income families often do not go to the nation's most selective schools, even if they have the academic qualifications to attend. Many times they don't even apply because they don't believe they can afford it. And they don't have anybody telling them that it's possible. But we want to make sure that you and students just like you across the state understand the opportunities exist and that cost does not have to be an obstacle. Students who qualify very often can find the financial support that they need from the institutions themselves and from other resources. And we can't accept that these students would not attend schools that are the best fit for them simply because they don't have access to the right information. So high-achieving, low-income students will receive application fee waivers and detailed information about affording colleges. They're going to get a letter from all of the Ivy League institutions, from Stanford, from MIT, encouraging them to apply to the top schools. That doesn't mean they get an automatic acceptance, but it's an invitation to apply. And as that letter makes clear, many students who attend these schools, including schools like Yale University, pay no tuition at all. And as you can tell by the fact that we have the Dean of Admissions of Yale University sitting in this room right now for this announcement, these schools take this incredibly seriously. And Jeremiah Quinlan, who you'll be hearing from in a few minutes, I mean, this has been much of his life's work, making sure that these institutions are available to kids who can succeed regardless of their own backgrounds, their financial circumstances. And we're thrilled to have them here. Now, building on the research of high-achieving, low-income students, we have broadened the scope of our project. We're sending resources and a letter of encouragement from Delaware's colleges and universities to thousands of Delaware seniors, because every young person should have the opportunity to be matched with the school that will be the best fit for them. Low-income students in this group will also receive application fee waivers and information about Delaware scholarship programs. You know, fee waivers have been available for a long time, but they can be complicated. And so we're making it much, much easier for students to get these fee waivers. And for all the students involved, we're encouraging them to apply to a wide range of schools for which they might qualify. And I'm hoping that David Coleman will talk a little bit about that when he comes up here. So we're committed to helping our students take advantage of the resources that are available to them. And in addition to our initial contact, we're going to be following up with the students who receive these packets with emails with text messages, with postcards, to offer additional support and encouragement to apply to college. We are really excited about this opportunity, but I want to stress that it can't stand alone. And we've got a robust plan to make many resources available to every high schooler in our state, and I'm glad that we have Secretary Murphy here to touch on that, and he'll be speaking in a moment. Did you want to pass me a message? Joanne Daminger from Delaware Tech is also here, and Carrie Romancic. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys for being here. So this effort would not be possible without the commitment of the institutions of higher education that are involved. So I once again want to thank all the folks from Delaware's colleges and universities, as well as Yale and his partners for their support. But most of all, this would not be possible without the commitment that the College Board is making to college access here and throughout the country. And I am so pleased to be able to introduce the president of the College Board, David Coleman, who is transforming that organization, recognizing that making sure that all people in this country who can be successful in college ought to have the opportunity to apply, to know how to go about the process, and to succeed. And through the College Board, he is making that happen. Let's welcome David Coleman.
Good morning. I thought I should begin by telling the assembled students here something that you might not know. There's a new added portion to the SAT. We're judging you not just by test scores, those are such a limited thing. So we're judging you by how loudly you can applaud after people finish speaking, for example, and how attentively you stare at the person who speaks. So I just wanted to kind of give you that information before I began talking. I also thought I should say that I don't know who to be more intimidated by, more at this moment. You know, in life it's sometimes hard to choose. Should I be more intimidated by the governor, who's here, who's just spoken? Should I be intimidated by Mark Murphy, who's just about the best superintendent in the country, or certainly one of the best? Or the dean of admissions at the school where I went to college? And you know, you have that fantasy that they can revoke that kind of stuff depending on what you do. So I'm in a very kind of fragile situation here. I'd also like to recognize, if I might, Veronica Conforme, if you would please stand for a minute. I'm so